Yo dudes, Carter here, what's going on? So today I got my new Lanxey Lansky diamond sharpening system. Some of you may know that I actually already have their stone sharpening system, but I picked up the diamond version because I like that system and I needed something with a little more balls, so to speak. So here it is, got it today. Didn't do an unboxing because it's not that cool, but I did get screwed. This should have came with one more rod. But I've got that other kit, so I've got plenty. So it comes with 4. Here's the fine stone. It's not a stone, but it's a diamond rod or whatever. The stone version comes with 5, so you do get an ultra fine. This one doesn't come with the ultra fine. I guess you got to buy it separately. But anyways, the point of this video, I know you're asking, what the hell is the point? Point is, I figured that I would do a little sharpening tutorial type situation here. So I've got my, see if we can see here, let it focus. Got my Roadhouse, and it has some edge damage from when I was kind of going bananas with it outside, and I already started the sharpening, kind of the getting it set up, which I shouldn't have done, but you can kind of see right here that edge is jagged. There's some actual chunks torn out of it. So the idea here is that I need to remove enough material to reprofile that bevel so that that is no longer there. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with the course, move on down, but along the way I will show you how I do what I do with this system here, take it or leave it. I like this system. Obviously it's not an Edge Pro, but it's $50 compared to $250, so it's up to you to decide. But anyways, prep. And I'm not going to actually do all this on camera. I am going to do it, but then I'll just turn it on to check up and let you know where I'm at. But first prep, put a little tape on the spine here. Not only does it protect your blade if you don't want it to get scratched, obviously that's not a concern here, but it provides a lot more grip for this right here. So you want to put some Scotch tape around the spine right there, and then you also, now this is very important, you want to take a Sharpie and you want to blacken out that bevel, because you're going to need to know exactly where your stone or your diamond is hitting that bevel, so you need to know how to adjust it in order to do it correctly. This is fairly limited on the degrees that you can do. It is actually labeled degrees wise, but of course all that is contingent upon how far out your edge is sticking, so how thick your blade is. So I mean, these numbers are, they'll give you a rough idea, but they're definitely not going to get you exactly these numbers. Comes with some oil. I bought this separately. This hopefully will be nice. I haven't tried it out yet, but it's a little stand so you can place it on there, because man, holding that can be a pain in the butt. So the next step is to attach this. So what you want to do is loosen it up enough so that, hopefully I can do this on camera. Everything's harder on camera, right guys? Especially love making, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, tighten the screw down. And what you want to do is get this, centered in the blade, and then centered this way. My goal is to actually get this as far forward as I can, because this is quite a obtuse angle that I'm trying to hit, and so I've noticed that even on the very highest hole, if I don't position this just right, I start decreasing the angle. So instead of being like this, it starts wanting to go like this, which is fine. It'll give you a really nice slicing edge, but a little more delicate. But anyways, I ramble, sorry guys. One thing to check is you want to make sure these pieces are lined up together so that everything is equal on both sides. Once you get this screw tightened down, you want to crank on this guy right here. And this just increases the tension on the front, and it makes it solid, rock solid. So you really want to crank on that. And then once you're done with that, you are ready to begin. You just take your stones. I'm going to start with the coarse. And of course, I would not recommend using a coarse diamond stone unless you have to remove a lot of material. In this case, I do, because I actually damaged my edge. If you were just sharpening, first off, I would just use the stones. And I would probably just start, well, I don't know. It kind of depends on the angle you're getting and things like that. But you get what I'm saying. This is heavy duty, mega craziness. But yeah, put that through like that. Make sure it's flat. Put a little oil on it. Get it on your stand if you have a stand. If not, hold it. So let's put this on here. I'm definitely gonna have to mount that to some sort of something. And I'm just gonna start at the top. And so basically what you want to do is just lightly kind of pull it down. And this will give you an idea where you are hitting. And that looks pretty good. I think that's where I want to be. If I started off lower, what you'd see is that the very edge would still be black, and I'd just be kind of hitting that corner of where the secondary bevel meets the primary bevel. And if I did that, you know, you'd eventually just be grinding away forever, and you'd increase the length of that bevel. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine, but it's not what I want to do. I want to keep the secondary bevel as close as the factory as it possibly can, but I am going to have to move it back in order to repair that damage there. So I'm going to crank away with the with this stone, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, guys, finished with the coarse stone. Kind of went a little wild on this here. Actually, come on, focus. I decided not to preserve this edge right here, this corner that was created with that Tonto, and I went with more of like a hinder, hinder sponto type thing. So that's why that bevel looks extra wide right there, because this is thicker material because of how this grind is. But if you can tell, the edge, you know, it's really rough, but the actual edge itself is repaired. I removed enough material to get those chips out of there. So then I just flipped it around, knocked off the burr real quick. You know, not a big deal, but just easier to get off with the same stone you used to create it seems like. So now I'm going to move to the next level. Let's see if this is sharp. Yep, so, I mean, it'll cut paper. It's not razor sharp. But it looks like it might, yeah, it'll kind of shave hair. It's not like a clean shaving hair, but it'll pop a few hairs off. So it is sharp, even after that. Even being so rough, it is sharp. But yeah, so I'm going to keep at it. Alright guys. Alright guys, finished up with the fine diamond. I was thinking about just stopping there. Sorry, excuse me. I'm not a super, you know, big edge freak where I need it to be able to split hairs and things like that. I just didn't like it being damaged. But I think I'll go ahead and move on to some stones and see what I can do. You can see here that this bevel is a little wider than down here. Not by a ton, but a little. So what that indicates is that this was positioned a little too far back and really should have been forward a tad bit, because this, and that's, you know, that's one of the things when you have a single point of contact right here. The farther away from this point you get, the angle is going to be different than right here. But I'm fine with it. It's perfectly fine. It's not a big deal. Alright guys, I will catch up with you again. Okay guys, just got done with my stones, You know, like I said, I'm not a freak for super polished edges or anything like that, but I've got like a, you know, an almost a high polish. We'll call it a high polished edge. Not mirror polished, high polished. It will shave hairs, not amazingly, but you know, there's some. Good enough for me. If it'll shave hair, that is good enough for me. I don't need it to be, you know, one of those lasers where you barely touch your skin and everything flies off. But yeah, you can shave a bald spot with it. So yeah, that's it. I got this sucker razor sharp. I've got all that damage that was right here, all repaired. The edge is now, you know, straight as a razor. And that's it. Pretty cool system. I mean, for how much it costs, which isn't a lot. The system with just the stones, which is nice, is like $30, and then the diamond system is like $60, I think. And if you're dealing with any sort of repairing damage or profiling, or if you're dealing with like really hard steels, D2 and things like that, you definitely got to get the stones. I mean, this is 154 cm. And even the coarse stone, I mean, it was tearing it up, but it took some effort to get that edge moved back enough to get rid of the damage. So keep that in mind. If you got harder steels, I mean, cranking away at even an extra coarse stone, you're just going to ruin that stone, and you're going to make your hands hurt. And definitely got to use those diamonds. All right, guys. Hopefully this was some help for you. I don't know. Take it easy.